going well for you. And as you can see already, 2025 will be a bit different for the real one. And I think just the fact that you can see me, it just shows how different it will be to a certain extent. But yeah, 2025 with the real one. I think for me, like I was really thinking about how to make sure that I can interact with you as much as possible. And I think the first thing was showing my face because not everyone knows me. So it's good to know who I am, the person behind the podcast. So yeah, that was something that I kind of wanted to do. I've been wanting to do it for a while. So I'm happy to kind of like start the 2025 with something like this. And also, if you're not following the Real One podcast, go right now, the Real One podcast on Instagram. Go and follow it, support, like, comment, anything, because that's the place where like I'll be interacting with you the most. And recently, if you've been following the page, you know that things are happening with the real one, especially in Lancaster, where I go to uni. There's no preference in the city or the town that I've chosen. That's where I am right currently. If you've been in Lancaster, you know that we probably had the Real One workshop, and that is something that I would love to continue, because the Real One, yes, is a podcast, but is definitely a space that aims to empower me, empower all of us. So I wanted to make sure that this podcast is just not a space where I talk with my friends, but where we can all feel more empowered after encountering it. So this is why I did the workshop. And honestly, oh guys, firstly, go and watch the reel. Go and read the comment, the testimonials. It was amazing. And it was amazing for me as well because it was just beautiful to see how there's certain things that you might be going through, that I'm going through, that we don't talk about because we don't think that they're quite relevant. And just having that space where we can just express ourselves, our real self, and being really authentic and being able to express ourselves as well, like talking about ourselves without feeling like we are just being narcissistic or just being very selfish, but just really be like, this is me and I'm proud of who I am. I think that was really beautiful. And I think for me, it was really important to kind of reiterate that because a lot of times when we're talking about ourselves, sometimes it can feel like we're being very like arrogant. But I think that is really important that we learn how to speak about ourselves with confidence and realizing how much beauty we have because we were made for such a time as this. You are here for a specific reason. You are where you are because you were meant to be where you are. You're meant to be in that family. You're meant to be in that town, in that country. So it is important to acknowledge that because by understanding that, we also know that we are not useless. We know that we are not less than anyone and we'll stop comparing ourselves to each other because we will know how much beauty it comes with us. And the world wouldn't be the same without each one of us. And I know that this is something maybe you've heard so many times, but it's true. You are unique. You're made for such a time as this for a specific reason. So I think it was so important, so empowering to hear that multiple times and to repeat that to ourselves and to really neglect what we've heard people saying about us and walking in what we really are. So yeah, it kind of like brought into the real vision of what the real one is about, which is not just about being a podcast, but generally being a community. A community where we're empowered by who we are and we're not arrogant, we are confident, there is a difference. There is a very big difference. And yeah, so what is community? And well, I asked you, what does community mean to you? And it was really nice to read some responses. And some of you guys said that community is important for you. It's extremely important for you, that it is essential to even go through your faith journey, through your Christian journey. And I agree. Community, if you speak to me, you will know that community is honestly one of the most important things for me. And especially for someone who I always try to kind of go against the stereotype of what a woman should be. And I always used to be like, I'm that strong, independent woman. Hey, it gets tiring. It actually gets tiring. Trying to be that independent, strong woman is not for the weak. And honestly, I don't want to be a strong, independent woman. No. I want to have a community I want to have a community that I can rely on. I want to have people that I can lean on, because it's not every day that I'm 100%. Sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, I want to give up. And yes, there is God, but sometimes you need people to remind you of what God is actually saying. And I think this is why community plays such an important role. And I think it's very important to make sure that we understand that community is not just a group of people. It's not because you're going to church that you have a community. It's not because you're going to uni that you have a community, or because you have people around you that have the same degree that you have a community. What I mean by that is healthy community. Community is a space where, firstly, it's built. Community is built. It's not something that you just end up being in. Like, yes, you have a degree, you end up being around people, but that's not community. Community is built. It's built by the common interest that you have, by the shared goal that you have. And in order for it to be healthy, it needs to be a place where you're being pushed to do well and also to be the best version of yourself. If you have a community where you say something about yourself and then you're being laughed at, or it becomes a gossip, that's not a community. That is not a healthy community, at least. So I think that's why I always say it's built, because in order for it to be a healthy community where you can grow and generally become the best version of yourself, there needs to be a level of vulnerability. And how can you be vulnerable in a community where when you say something, it becomes a topic, a topic within the group? So you might be wondering, like, how is it built? And I think for me, what I've realized is by being real, by being authentic. The people that I have around, the community that I have around, are my support system, because they know my weaknesses and they know my strength. They know when I need more support, and they know when I need, more encouragement. And that cannot happen if you're not transparent, if you're not authentic and vulnerable. And I think sometimes people confuse that from being extroverted and introverted. These two things are personalities, but at the end of the day, no matter how much introvert you are, you need a support system. You need people to help you, because life be lifing. Life actually be lifing. Like, I had my dissertation due, submitted it. Yeah, thank God. But yeah, I had my dissertation, and the support system around me, I had people to remind me, Gabby, you cannot give up. Keep going, keep going. I had friends proofreading it. I had friends waking me up at 7:30 every day to make sure that I could just, get work done. Because, hey, especially at the end of the time, I was tired. I was like, you know what, it's okay. I've done my best. I just want to be, and I can't. And you need to have people around you reminding you that you really can't. You have no option. So I think that was really nice. So I think that is why community is so important, because it makes you never feel alone, and loneliness can be very bad, especially in the society that we live in. So this is why I want the Real One to be a community. I want it to be a group of people where we're striving to do our best, where we can be vulnerable, authentic, understand our weaknesses, our strength, and really cherish it. And I think you can't cherish community if you don't understand the importance of community. So it is really important to understand that you're not alone, that you're not alone in your insecurities, that you're not alone in trying to figure out life. You're not alone, but we are all in this together, and that you can go through this life by being yourself. Because actually, by you not being real to yourself, you're actually drawing people that are not real. You're drawing people that they don't really match who you need around. So even though sometimes it can be quite challenging to be yourself all the time, especially when you're trying to make friends, you're trying to create a support system around you, it's actually better to do that way, because that's the only way that you can draw real and authentic people that love you for who you are. So yeah, this is why I was like, no, 2025, the Real One is going to be a community. We all need to be empowered, me included. And I want to hear from you. Honestly, even hearing the answers from how important community is for you, I was like, wow, this is really inspiring. Like, this has really empowered me. So yeah, let's get empowered together. Let's get real. Let's get real, guys. Let's get real this 2025. And yeah, this is why I'm even on camera. Like, let's get real. Let's get real. And also, to be real, we need to be intentional. Let's be intentional with it. Let's be intentional with how vulnerable we're being with people, how authentic we're being with people. Let's be intentional. It actually teaches you to like learn how to be yourself and learn to accept and love yourself in a different way. So let's be real. Let's have real conversations. This is basically what 2025 is going to be about. If you're Lancaster, you're in for a treat because workshop is coming up very soon, the next one. And also, if you're listening to me on Spotify, go on YouTube, subscribe, like, share, comment, be nice, be real, be nice, be real, but be nice. Yeah. And also just, stay tuned for the next episode and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye. Ciao, ciao.